Investing advice from strangers. 2025, Street Wisdom Unleashed. We hit the streets to find 2025's wildest investing advice. Ready for this? We asked everyday people for their best stock tips, their hottest real estate hacks, and their craziest predictions for the future of finance. While others, let's just say, I took notes. We're talking about the kind of advice that'll either make you a millionaire or have you laughing all the way to the poorhouse. Get ready for some serious financial facepalms, some surprisingly deep insights, and maybe even a few golden nuggets of wisdom. So buckle up, smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm, and get ready to dive into the chaotic world of investing advice from strangers. Okay, first up we've got the Dogecoin devotees. These are the folks who are still riding the meme coin wave, convinced that Dogecoin is going to the moon. They believe that Dogecoin, which started as a joke, is now a serious contender in the crypto world. One guy, let's call him Chad, told me with a straight face that Dogecoin was going to hit $10,000 by the end of the year. I mean, I admire the optimism, but come on, Chad. That's a bit of a stretch, don't you think? Look, I get it, Dogecoin has had its moments. It's fun, it's quirky, and it's captured the imagination of many. We all remember the Elon Musk pump and dumps, but putting all your eggs in the Dogecoin basket? That's risky business. That's like investing in a company that sells nothing but rubber chickens. It might get a laugh, but is it sustainable? Sure, it might be funny for a minute, but it's not a solid long-term strategy. You need something with staying power. Investing is about making smart, calculated decisions, not chasing the latest internet fad. It's about being strategic. It's about understanding your risk tolerance, diversifying your portfolio, and investing in things that have real, tangible value. So while I appreciate the enthusiasm, maybe leave the Dogecoin investing to the, shall we say, more speculative investors out there. After all, it's your money on the line. Next up, we've got the real estate evangelists. These are the folks who swear by bricks and mortar, convinced that you can't go wrong with a piece of property. And you know what? They're not entirely wrong. One woman, let's call her Sarah, told me about how her grandmother bought a house back in the 1950s for a song, and how it's now worth a fortune. And Sarah's right. Real estate can be an incredible wealth-building tool. It's a tangible asset. It can generate passive income through rentals, and it tends to appreciate in value over time. But here's the thing. Even Sarah, with her grandmother's real estate success story, admitted that it's not as simple as just buying any old property and watching the money roll in. Real estate is not a passive investment. It takes time, effort, and yes, even a little bit of luck. Alright, this is where things start to get a little interesting. We encountered a few self-proclaimed futurists who were convinced that the next big thing in investing was NFTs of cats. Yes, you heard that right, digital cats. Yes, you heard me right. Digital cats, as in pixelated images of felines, were being touted as the next big investment opportunity. One guy, let's call him, Pixel, passionately explained to me how these digital kitties were going to be the next Picassos, how they were one-of-a-kind digital assets that would be worth millions someday. He was absolutely convinced of their future value. He even showed me his collection on his phone, a menagerie of pixelated felines with names like Sir Meows-a-Lot and Fluffy McFlufferson. Each cat had its own unique charm. Look, I'm all for innovation, and I'm not gonna lie, some of those cat NFTs were kinda cute. They had a certain quirky appeal, but investing in something just because it's the next big thing is a recipe for disaster. Remember Beanie Babies? How about pet rocks? These were once considered valuable too. Fads come and go, and more often than not, they leave a trail of disappointed investors in their wake. The hype fades, and reality sets in. So while those cat NFTs might be cute, I'd think twice before betting my retirement fund on them. It's always wise to be cautious and do thorough research before diving into any investment. Chapter 4. Diversify your portfolio. Okay, finally, some actual good advice. Amidst the sea of meme stock mania and NFT insanity, we actually encountered a few voices of reason. One woman, let's call her Sophia, told me about the importance of diversification. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, she said, echoing the age-old wisdom that's been passed down through generations of investors. And you know what? She's absolutely right. Diversification is the key to mitigating risk and building a resilient portfolio. It's about spreading your investments across different asset classes, sectors, and geographies. That way, if one investment takes a hit, your entire portfolio isn't wiped out. Diversification is like having a financial safety net. Chapter 5. Buy stocks and space travel companies. Alright, back to the wild side. We encountered a few folks who were convinced that the future of investing was out of this world. Literally. They were all about space travel companies, convinced that we were on the cusp of a new era of space tourism and exploration. One guy, let's call him Astro, was practically vibrating with excitement as he told me about his plans to buy a one-way ticket to Mars. It's the ultimate investment, he declared, owning a piece of the red planet. Now I'm all for space exploration, but let's be real here. Investing in space travel companies is not for the faint of heart. It's a high-risk, high-reward sector with a lot of unknowns. So, while I applaud Astro's enthusiasm for all things space, I'd advise a bit of caution before pouring your life savings into space travel stocks. Chapter 6. Focus on sustainable energy. Amidst all the outlandish advice, we encountered a refreshing number of people who were thinking about the future in a more grounded way. These individuals were not just dreamers, they were practical visionaries, looking to make a tangible impact on the world. They were focused on sustainable energy, convinced that investing in renewable resources was not only good for the planet, but also good for their portfolios. They saw the dual benefits of environmental stewardship and financial growth. One woman, let's call her Gaia, told me about how she was divesting from fossil fuel companies and putting her money into solar, wind, and other clean energy solutions. Gaia's approach was both strategic and ethical. It's the future, she said, and it's the right thing to do. Her conviction was inspiring, and it was clear she believed in the long-term benefits of her choices. And you know what? Gaia's onto something. Her insights reflect a broader trend that is gaining momentum across the globe. The world is shifting towards cleaner, more sustainable energy sources, and investors are taking notice. This shift is not just a trend, but a significant movement towards a more sustainable future. Renewable energy is a growing sector with huge potential, and it's only going to become more important in the years to come. The opportunities in this field are vast and varied, but one thing's for sure: sustainable energy is not just a fad, it's the future, and it's a future worth investing in. The time to act is now, and the benefits will be felt for generations. Okay, this one threw me for a loop. We talked to a few people who were convinced that the next big thing in real estate wasn't, well, real. They were all about virtual real estate, buying up digital plots of land in online worlds and metaverses. One guy, let's call him Matrix, showed me his virtual mansion, complete with a digital swimming pool and a virtual Lamborghini parked in the virtual driveway. It's the future of property ownership, he declared, and it's only going to go up in value. Now I'm all for embracing new technologies, but I'll be honest, the whole virtual real estate thing has me a bit perplexed. But for now, I'm going to stick to investing in things I can actually touch, like bricks, mortar, and maybe a few rental properties. Chapter 8. Keep an emergency fund. Okay, back to the real world and back to some solid advice. Amidst all the talk of meme stocks and virtual real estate, we encountered a surprising number of people who emphasized the importance of something much more fundamental: an emergency fund. One woman, let's call her Prudence, told me about how her emergency fund had saved her when she lost her job a few years back. It gave me peace of mind during a really stressful time, she said, and it allowed me to focus on finding a new job without having to worry about going into debt. And you know what? Prudence is absolutely right. An emergency fund is the cornerstone of a solid financial foundation. It's a safety net that can catch you when life throws you a curveball, whether it's a job loss, a medical emergency, or an unexpected car repair. Trust me, it's the best investment you can make. Chapter 9. Buy gold and silver. We couldn't escape the doomsday preppers. Oh yes, even in the futuristic world of 2025, there were still those who were convinced that the world was ending and that the only safe investment was precious metals. One guy, let's call him Bunker, showed me a stash of gold coins and silver bars, hidden away in his basement bunker naturally. When the dollar collapses, he declared, gold and silver will be the only currency that matters. Now, I'm not saying that gold and silver are bad investments. They can be a good hedge against inflation, and they tend to hold their value during times of economic uncertainty. But let's be real here. The whole end of the world scenario is a bit far-fetched, so while it's fine to have a small allocation of precious metals in your portfolio, I wouldn't go all in on the apocalypse just yet. Chapter 10. Look into index funds. And finally, we come to the voice of reason, the voice of experience, the voice that's been whispering in your ear this whole time. Index funds. Yes, even in the chaotic world of 2025, the principles of sound investing still hold true. One woman, let's call her Warren, yes, like Buffett, told me about the power of index funds, how they allow you to passively track the market and benefit from long-term growth without having to pick individual stocks. It's the simplest, most effective way to invest, she said, and it's how I've built my wealth over time. And you know what? Warren's right. Index funds are a fantastic way to invest for both beginners and experienced investors alike. They're low cost, diversified, and they take the emotion out of investing. So if you're looking for a simple, effective way to invest your money, look no further than index funds. Chapter 11. Street wisdom, more like street wild. So there you have it, folks. Investing advice from the streets of 2025. We've heard it all, from the brilliant to the bizarre, from the insightful to the downright insane. But hey, that's the beauty of investing, right? There's no one-size-fits-all approach. The key is to do your research, understand your risk tolerance, and make informed decisions that align with your financial goals. What's the craziest investing tip you've heard? Drop it in the comments and subscribe.